Video games have never been better, profits have never been higher, and I believe we've finally done it. We're making my family proud, and we couldn't have done it at all without you, my lovely assistant.
Hey, sir?
Microtransactions, DLC, subscriptions, services, crypto, NFTs, the ecosystem, all working together to give us record-breaking profits the likes have never been seen before. It's wonderful.
Director Bagger.
Even at last night's metal rave, Zuck 9000 told me video games had finally been perfected. It's clear to me now, there's never been a better time to play video games.
Sir, I believe we have a code blue. The timeline is being altered. Someone is changing history. Look. Video games are broken, and there's never been a worse time to play them. On paper, there's more games than ever before, but lately they've been releasing more and more half-baked, except for one key feature that seems to always make it out unscathed. Yeah, I'm talking about the store. Never have I seen a Battlefield, a Halo, a Call of Duty, or any other AAA game release with a broken store. It just does not happen. Every single thing has been monetized today, and buying games is as expensive as it's ever been. But here's the life-altering fact that is also fun. I'm gonna reverse it, and then I'm gonna fix video games.
The absolute nerve! Computer, target this timeline.
Timeline targeted.
He's sullying the blood, sweat, and tears my family has put into this industry for generations. My father, who pushed Web3 technologies and brought us into the age of crypto gaming. What about my grandfather, who ushered in advanced microtransaction practices like battle passes or loot boxes, and ushered the industry into the modern gaming era?
I don't even know my parents.
But what about my great-grandfather, Daniel Bagger, who kickstarted this whole revolution by creating Horse Armor, the world's first successful microtransaction? That man was a genius, and he didn't stop there. Without his work, communities would still be open, and who knows what people would say. They were all visionaries, and I hope to make them proud someday.
Sir, maybe we listen to what he has to say? Maybe video games don't have to just be about profits. The idea is simple. If it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, then we can't really expect the video game industry to be anything other than the duck that it is. So we gotta treat it as such. Here's the thing. When you buy a game, your cash goes to the store, who ultimately takes their cut, but then spreads around the rest to the publisher and or developer, and in exchange, you get a beautiful video game. To make more money, developers will make digital content, which essentially translates to a digital license. But here's the thing, you can only use the digital license on the account that you purchased it on, and that's it. But what if that wasn't the case? Stay with me. The reason the games are such a mess these days is because a lot of the resources are going towards an unlimited supply of cosmetics to nickel and dime us with, instead of, building the game. But instead of wasting the developer's time, I'm suggesting we put it inside of the hands of the player. That's right, us. Let us develop the cosmetics for the games that we love. Games like CSGO or Forza's Auction House all have examples of creator cosmetics, and here's the best part. It works! If the cosmetic creator creates content for the game that they love, that means that the store will clearly get its cut, the game will also get its cut, players will most likely get more interesting cosmetics, the creator will get its cut, but here's where things get really interesting, and these next 2 points are gonna blow your mind. First, the cosmetic creator needs to be able to make limited sets, and I know what you're thinking.
Goose, why would we want that when it's digital and we can sell an infinite amount of cosmetics already?
Let me explain. Having limited sets not only makes your cosmetic more meaningful when playing with other players, but it also increases its value, which is where my second point comes in. The stores have to give the players more choice, and the best way to do that is to give the players the opportunity to sell the content they've already purchased, including cosmetics. I know. It sounds weird, but I can actually prove this works for everyone using a little bit of math. 1 second. Okay, we got our 3 people, we got our sick Goose Boots, yeah that's right, these are my Goose Boots, and each of these guys buy for $10. Well, what happens is the store will make $30 of transactions, it will take its 30% cut, which is $9, and the developers will take the rest, that's your $21. But look what happens when the users are allowed to sell. If 3 people buy a skin I made as a cosmetic creator, then the store would get its 30%, I would get my 30%, and the developers would get the rest. That's $9, $9, and $12 respectively. But here's the kicker. Those players can resell for potentially higher or lower prices depending on the value of that cosmetic, and constantly reward the store and developers at zero cost to them. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Yeah, developers do take an initial hit, but now they can focus on the game and the community will decide what should be sold or not, and the developers still get to profit. So everyone gets paid, the game gets more attention, and we get one step closer to the
That's enough. I've heard more than I care to. Imagine putting people in control of their own wealth. It's preposterous.
But Director Bagger, it does kind of seem like everyone wins.
No, my lovely assistant. That's where it starts. It's nothing more than a scam. Sooner or later they'll want to take more, and then who knows how the timeline will be affected. Video games could change forever, but even worse, our quarterly profits may drop. They've left me with no choice. Computer, initiate the Keep It Cute protocol.
But sir, that's a complete destruction of his timeline. It's irreversible.
These are our profits we're talking about. It's what my family would have wanted. I'm sorry. Do it.
I want to be crystal clear. The goal is not to get people rich. The goal is to get the money so far out of the way that we can get back to the good old days when games were games, not platforms. No more day one patches, no more battle passes, no more loot boxes, no more microtransactions, and most importantly, no more half-baked games. If every one of us works together, we're talking the store, publisher, developer, players, all of us,
Timeline cleanse initiated.
then nothing can stop.
Timeline cleansed. Recursion in progress.
Thank you, my assistant. As always, you've outdone yourself, and while I understand I may be harsh to work with, the truth is I've always seen you as sort of a son to me. We're a good team, you and I. There have been many who have sat in that chair, but none have ever reached the...
Recursion at 90%. Resetting global memory banks.
Computer, where's my assistant?
The assistant known as Goose Jr. has been cleansed.
Junior? No.
Sir, maybe we listen to what he has to say. I don't even know my parents.
Oh God, what have I done?
Sir, that's a complete destruction of his timeline. It's irreversible.
That's not what...
Video games don't have to just be about profits.
Computer, abort memory wipe and reverse immediately.
Timeline cleanse irreversible.
I just wanted to make my family proud, make the world a better place. I thought we were making a difference. Computer, access timeline.
Accessing. Which timeline do you wish to target?
Where it all began.
Recursion at 98%. T minus 60 seconds until reset.
Access my grandfather's timeline.
Timeline targeted. Awaiting instructions.
Without us, the world would be a different place, but my assistant would be safe. We've made mistakes, but I will be the one to correct it.
Recursion at 99%. T minus 10 seconds until reset.
All I've ever wanted was to make my family proud. Today, I think I will.
Timeline cleansed. Keep it cute protocol. Successful.